So how's your bank doing?
Not so good. We have a lot of paper that's going south real fast.
Our bank has the same issue. It's a good thing we're using the incurred loss methodology.
Yeah, we don't have to recognize the loss until it's probable that we even have one.
Let's see those stupid accountants try to book a loss with that kind of a threshold. What the?
What gives? Now that I have your interest, let me get these loans adjusted to CECL. Like, who's CECL? CECL, Current Expected Credit Losses. That's how you'll be reporting your credit losses from now on. There you go. All your losses are now recognized.
We'll get you for this.
I wouldn't bank on it.
Peter, you look tired. Were you up all night on the web again last night?
What? Oh, the internet. Yeah, right.
Peter, would you like any more breakfast?
Maybe a few more flies.
What?
I mean home fries. But I guess I need to get to the office. Mr. J is assigning me to do a story on financial assets measured at amortized cost.
Is that something new?
Yes, they now have to be reported at the amount expected to be collected.
You mean people don't always pay what they owe?
Yep. It's a bug-eat-bug world. So you have to set up an allowance for the credit loss to reduce the value of the asset.
And I guess that would create a loss in the financial statements.
You got it.
Well, how is that different from before?
In the past, we only looked at historical information. Now we have to consider current conditions and future events as well. Gotta go. Mr. J is expecting me.
Piper, where are you? You no good.
You wanted to see me, Mr. James?
Peter Piper, I want you to pop over to the accounting conference. I hear there's a presentation about this new CECL thing.
That's CECL, sir.
CECL? I prefer cycle. They should have asked me before they picked a lame name like that.
What's the assignment?
Piper, I want a story on these PCI things.
Those are now known as PDC, Purchased Credit Deteriorated Assets.
EIEIO, I don't care what they're called.
The bottom line is that this will have an allowance upon purchase that will be added to the purchase price to come to the amortized cost basis.
Whatever. Just get to that conference and get me a story. And plenty of photos.
It appears that our plot to sabotage better reporting of credit losses is going according to plan.
Since CECL doesn't require any specific method, it should be easy. But fortunately for us, the accountants are all panicking.
Indeed, they could use a loss rate, a roll rate, vintage analysis, or even discounted cash flows.
Yes, but with a lack of specific guidance, they're all lost.
It is critical that they not understand the basic concept.
They would simply start with the historical loss rate, adjust that for the current economic conditions and qualitative factors, and finally adjust that for reasonable forecasted conditions.
Luckily for us, we have an insider on the FASB staff who's ensured that the guidance on this standard is so convoluted that even the Avengers could not figure it out.
Peter, I'm glad we could grab a quick bite before you go to the conference. Why is this assignment so important anyway?
Because investors and creditors need to know the value of the assets held by those that they invest in or lend to.
But that sounds like an extraordinary amount of work. Think of the number of loans a bank has at any given time. It would take a ridiculous amount of man-hours to evaluate each loan.
Help, he stole my purse.
That's why the FASB allows you to assess a pool of similar assets on a collective basis.
And then apply the allowance to the pool?
Yep.
Thank you.
Uh-oh, I'm late. I've got to go. Mr. J will have my head if I don't get that story.
Can I see you later?
I'll try to swing by. So where is this convention center anyway? Uh-oh, my buggy sense is tickling. I think Arachnidman should check it out. Hello, Peter. Dr. Weird, what are you doing here? I was passing through this dimension and realized I needed to talk to you about an important topic that's been bugging me. Like what? Like selecting the best method for estimating credit losses. Oh, well, I kind of like the warm method. Ah, yes, the weighted average remaining maturity method. But wouldn't that have to be slightly modified to be compliant with CECL? Yes, but it would still be a very simple method for many smaller organizations. I agree. The data would be much easier to obtain. Sure, and I could use my buggy sense as well as quantitative data to fine-tune the amount to be in compliance with CECL. Well, I could simply jump forward in time to see what the losses will actually be. Yeah, that would work too. Oh, and you might want to check on those supervillains hanging out at the abandoned chemical plant.
So, my cynical syndicate, we now have to make sure that subsequent measurement of financial assets is also too complex to handle.
Not so fast, Doc Knot. By the way, where'd you get your haircut, Bolo-Rama?
Arachnidman, you're too late. We've already spun our web of deception.
I can fix this, Teal Goblin. The accountants will simply need to assess the credit loss at each reporting period. So they'll have a number. What will they do then? Play with their little calculators? Silly denim. They'll adjust the allowance and report the change as an additional credit loss or reversal in net income.
But what about the off-balance sheet risks? They're not even on the books. How can you have an allowance for something that doesn't even exist?
Don't be batty, more biased. It's simple. I'll skip the allowance and set up a fresh liability. Then I can adjust it each period like any other allowance.
You haven't seen the last of us, Arachnidman.
You've got that right. I'll be seeing that haircut in my nightmares. Oh my gosh, the accounting conference. I almost forgot. Oh man, Mr. J's gonna be buzzing mad about this. Sorry I missed the conference, Mr. J, but I got some great photos of Arachnidman.
Arachnidman? That's better than some boring accountants. I can see the headline now. Webbed menace spins credit losses to the detriment of the banks.
I'm not sure that's what really happened, sir.
Who cares? So, Piper, what's all this buzz I'm hearing about available for sale debt securities?
Nothing really, Chief. It's just that under the previous guidance, those items were not allowed to use an allowance. They had to write down the asset using an impairment loss.
Impairment loss? That's preposterous. That would mean that they could never write it back up. Only Arachnidman could have planned such a thing.
But that's changed. Now they can use an allowance for credit losses similar to other GAAP.
Then what are you standing around for? Get out there and give me the scoop! And plenty of photos!